Hey, I'm Gabe and I sing in Cobra Starship. I went on this retreat after the last Midtown tour. When I had the spiritual experience in the desert, I kind of wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my life, and I went out to kind of contemplate my place in the world and what I was doing. One night I was just meditating, and like staring up into the night sky, and contemplating the infinite nature of the universe. And I looked down at my hand, and all of a sudden I had this epiphany where I realized that the same infinite nature in the universe was contained within me. And in the middle of my epiphany, I was like staring at my hand, this fucking cobra came out of nowhere and bit me in the neck. And then I almost died. I'm like spent a week hallucinating. And when I finally came to, the cobra was still there, and he was taking care of me, making sure that I didn't die. And he started talking to me, and he told me that he just wasn't any ordinary cobra, that he was a cobra sent from the future to find me, to teach me how to dance and make beats. We stayed out there in the desert for a couple other weeks. We rehearsed, worked on the Pro Tools, wearing headbands and sweat gear, just dancing out in the desert. He sent me back home and told me to start Cobra Starship in honor of the spacecraft that brought him back from the future to find me. Music always has the power to change people's lives, and it has the power to carry with it other messages. It's the message of animal rights and really getting the truth out there about how the thing that ends up as a hamburger that looks this delicious to eat, how it gets there, and the whole process involved in that and everything that they hide from you to get there. I was super young when I became vegetarian. I was 13, and I remember I was at Jewish summer camp. If you ever saw that movie Wet Hot American Summer, that's exactly what it was like. It was like Jewish sleepaway camp. And like I was like 13, and I had just like found out what punk rock was, and I was like super punk rock, like like when you think you're like too cool, and like I had my spiky hair and stuff, and there was like this hippie kid at the summer camp too, and if you're a punk rock kid, you hate hippies, so like I didn't really care what that hippie had to say, but one day he just goes, man, we have so many other options than to eat meat, like there's so many other ways to live. You don't need to eat meat. That why would you kill another living thing? And that just made so much sense to me at the age of 13. That just struck such a chord in me that I was just like, oh yeah, of course. Why would I kill another living thing so that I could eat? Like I can eat whatever I want. I don't need to be killing living things to eat. And I just like became a vegetarian in an instant. When you talk about animal rights, you mean like the most basic right of any living thing, which is that like it wants to not be killed. Anything that's alive wants to not be killed, and especially living things that feel pain have a huge interest in not being killed and not feeling pain. So I think that those are the rights that I talk about, and when I say those things, I don't mean it in any sort of political way. I mean it in a very moral way, and I think that it's important for people. I think everyone has a sense of right and wrong, and I think that the only thing that stops people from being vegetarians is that they don't know all the cruelties that go on to what they're eating. And I think the most important thing that I want to get across is that like I want people to just at least have that information. People need to be informed about what's happening and know the truth about the meat industry and how that delicious steak got to your plate to get there. I think that's important for anything, and even if you're a vegetarian already, I think it's really important to appreciate like how your food gets on your plate and all the people that have had to work to make it get there. And be compassionate too. And I think everyone in their hearts, most people are compassionate. People that say they don't care, they really do care. They just don't want to deal with it.